Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, welcome to my garden. If you're new here, hi, I'm Dominika, I'm a horticulturist and I post balcony and container gardening content. I garden in this 17-meter square terrace, which is in the shade for most of the day. The weather has been really nice these past couple of days. It's been really warm and sunny, so my garden is becoming more and more lush by the day. But I haven't been gardening recently. I haven't done much in my garden at all, so my garden definitely needs some love and attention today, even though it's a bit cold and gloomy, but hopefully it won't rain and we can get our maintenance done. So I'm gonna guide you through that process. I'm gonna show you what I do in my garden around this time of the year, what are some of my routine tasks, but I also want to highlight a couple of beautiful plants, a couple of beautiful spring bulbs that I've been enjoying. I think they are really lovely, and perhaps you will find some ideas and inspiration in today's video as well. So before we get to work, let me show you some beautiful spring blooms. So the first highlight of my spring season are these beautiful leucodrum, also called snowflakes. Snowflakes resemble snowdrops a lot, but they are not the same plant, obviously, and they are not even in the same genus of plants. But if you are a fan of snowdrops and you've tried growing them in your container garden and you haven't succeeded, don't worry, it's not you, it's the plant. They are a bit fussy to grow. They take a long time to establish, if they are willing to establish in your garden. So if you like that type of plants, snowflakes might be a better option because they are less fussy. They bloom beautifully already in their first growing season, and they don't require a lot of maintenance, and they will be perfectly happy in any shady or partially shady garden. They are also quite winter hardy, and you can definitely keep the bulbs from year to year. Scilla peruviana is probably the plant that I was most excited to see in my spring garden this year, but when I planted it in the fall, it started sprouting immediately, and I was a little bit concerned because this plant is not very winter hardy. It's hardy down to zone 7, and I garden in zone 8A. But since I'm the world's most neglectful gardener, I decided to just leave it unprotected for the whole winter and see what happens. So let me show you, because I think it speaks for itself. I am absolutely in love with these blooms. I mean, you guys, aren't they so unique looking and so gorgeous? I have two more beautiful flowers to show you. Unfortunately, they are done blooming now, but I will show you some clips and videos that I took before. What would be spring without tulips, right? I'm a huge fan of those double bloom peony-like tulips, and this year I had a variety called Strawberry Cream, and oh boy, it lived up to its name. Absolutely gorgeous, very long-lasting tulips, very resistant tulips. I personally don't keep tulip bulbs from year to year because, especially in containers, you never know what you're gonna get next year. You never know if they are actually gonna come back, or if they come back, will they bloom as beautiful as the year before? Usually they don't. So especially with those kind of hybrid, very fancy, beautiful tulips, they tend to either not come back at all or come back very sparingly next year. So I don't keep tulips. I treat them more as seasonal flowers, and as seasonal flowers they are absolutely amazing for container displays. And this container that is looking very sad at the moment had beautiful double bloom hyacinths. I'm not a huge fan of hyacinths personally because they have a tendency to flop over, and I don't really appreciate that aspect of plants. But these double bloom spring beauty, that's what they are called, hyacinths, have been surprisingly strong and very upward growing. So these were a really lovely addition to my garden, and this one is definitely a keeper. Now, one thing I also want to add is stuff like hyacinths or tulips. You will often see them being recommended only for sunny gardens, but I've been growing them for years and years in my balcony garden, and my balcony garden does not receive any sunlight at all until mid-March, and yet I managed to grow all these sun-loving bulbs, especially spring bulbs. I noticed that spring bulbs don't really, because they bloom so early in the year, they don't really require a ton of sunlight. If you have an hour or two of sunlight, or even like right now, you can see bright indirect light, this is largely enough for those spring flowering bulbs. It's mostly those summer flowering bulbs, those that grow and bloom later in the season, like alliums and stuff like that. These definitely need more sunlight and they won't grow in the shade, but those early spring blooming bulbs, they manage just fine. I want to keep these hyacinths until next year, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the spent blooms off, but only the spent blooms. I'm keeping the foliage because until the foliage is green, the plant is still photosynthesizing, it's still collecting energy to be able to bloom next year. If you prune the foliage while it's green, well, the bulb won't be able to recharge, so it won't flower for you next year. So once the leaves turn completely brown, that means the bulb is fully charged, and you will be able to pull out the leaves without even using any force, but obviously you can just cut them at the soil level. At that moment, you can either dig your bulbs out and store them in a paper bag in your apartment, or you can leave it permanently in container. If the container is large enough, this one is a bit small, but I could still plant some herbs in here or some summer annuals that don't require a lot of maintenance. You can totally do it. The bulbs will not rot out, they will stay dormant, and you can enjoy some summer flowers, so you can have a double use of one container. But don't try to overplant it, because obviously you need to keep in consideration that there are bulbs that are taking up some space in the pot already, so you don't have a ton of place for your new plant. So choose something low maintenance, something that doesn't require a lot of water, you know what I mean, some easygoing plant like begonias or something like that. So as I mentioned, I'm not keeping these tulips, but I am still gonna prune them to the ground level just to give that container a more fresh, a more clean look, because I still want to enjoy these beautiful little violas for a while. We have some remains of them, they are done blooming now. These type of tulips, they tend to come back reliably from year to year. So these tulips I am keeping. So I'm only removing these large tulips, and then as you can see, here is the foliage of those smaller tulips. So I will just pinch off the spent blooms just like that, and I will leave the foliage so that the bulb can charge and I can replant them again next year. It looks much better, much cleaner now. Obviously these tulip leaves look a bit funny sticking out of the pot like that, but I don't think that bothers me that much. And now that the violas will have a bit more light, a bit more room, we will water them, we'll fertilize them, and I can still enjoy them for about a month. Later in the month of May, it just becomes too hot in here and pansies and violas just cannot handle our summer heat. Spring is a very windy season over here. We have winds on a daily basis with wind gusts up to 100 kilometers per hour. So it always causes a lot of damage. Not only it dries up the plants, as you can see, some of the plants' leaves are completely dried up, but it also causes a ton of damage in terms of pots, because it knocks down pots and containers. So I always have to replace a few pots during the season. And obviously it also brings a ton of plant debris to my garden, so I make sure to sweep the floor regularly. If you've been following me long enough, you probably know that I have this absolutely gorgeous Japanese maple Acer Orange Dream that is such a beautiful, healthy plant. It looks stunning in the spring, but then once the winds arrive, this poor plant doesn't stand a chance. It dries up, it defoliates, and every year it's the same story. It leaves out, it's stunning, and then the wind is just completely destroying the plant. So I think that I will give this plant away to someone who can provide it with more sheltered spot in their garden. I'm super sad because I love this plant, but this plant is just not suited for my windy terrace. Alrighty, this corner is clean. This is my full shade corner. This area does not receive any direct sunlight at all. It's in full shade all day long. And all of these plants that you see here are winter hardy perennials. Some of them are evergreen, all adapted to grow in the shade. So let's take a really quick look at this. We have hostas, Hosta halcyon, Hosta royal, podophyllum spotidoti over there, Acer orange dream, Polysticum polyblepharum, Heuchera, silver gumdrop, Chiarella, hellebore, don't remember the exact name of that variety. We have some Hebe, more Heucheras, Geranium roseanne, another hosta, and over here bay laurel and Clematis montana maline that is now done blooming. Alright, one last look at this part and I think we are done here. Unfortunately, some of my plants did not survive winter. Sometimes you don't quite know exactly why. I've had this scabiosa for many years, it bloomed beautifully, it always survived winter, but this year it just didn't come back from its dormancy and the plant unfortunately ended up dead. Alright, I think it looks better like this. We brought some flowers in here, especially wanted the Scilla a little closer so that I can admire it from my window. Most of the time in the winter I put all of my spring bulbs, kind of just group them, push them into the corner since there's not much, to see. Since the pot is empty, there's just bare soil. But once they bloom in the spring, I like to bring them a little further here, so that I can see them, enjoy them. And then this part I like to leave just for edibles. This becomes my veggie garden in summer, so I want to reserve all these pots just to grow vegetables and fruit. While I'm here, I also want to check on my leaf mold. So every fall there's a ton of leaves that falls into my balcony garden, and I put them to a good use. I collect them all in a plastic bag to create my own leaf mold. Leaf mold, so basically a leaf compost, is a really great source of organic matter for your plants. You can use it to start your seedlings, you can use it to mulch your plants, you can mix it with your potting soil. It has so many great benefits. It helps to retain soil moisture, helps to lock nutrients in the soil, prevents the nutrients flushing out. So many great benefits, and the fact that you can do it yourself, you don't need any specific equipment, any specific bin, just a plastic bag and a little spot to hide it. So I also want to transfer it into a green bag because I put it into this blue bag and now it bothers me. I can see this blue bag from across my balcony and it just kind of triggers me. So I want to water this and transfer it to a green bag. As you can see, it started to decompose already. So I have to water it once I transfer it. It helps to cut the leaves into smaller pieces. It helps to speed up the decomposition, but I was just too lazy to do it. So basically this is like a no maintenance thing. You just throw leaves into a bag. If you can, cut them into smaller pieces, do it. Just poke a few holes, literally with your finger, in the bag. Water it from time to time and forget about it. And next year, so this year in the fall, you will have a beautiful organic matter to use in your container garden. And you know what's really awesome? I have a lot of earthworms in my balcony garden, and when I poke these holes, they usually find their way into the bag, so they help to speed up the decomposition. And then you have a leaf mold kind of mixed with worm castings, which is like really awesome. So I'm just throwing in a bit of water. Giving it a good shake. Leaf mold makes a great mulch for your plants. You know, over time, soil tends to compact in the containers, so it's a good idea to refresh it by adding a few centimeters of fresh organic matter on top of the container. Another thing that I do at this time of the year is I check my toolbox. I have this small metal box where I keep all the garden gadgets, I would say. Stuff like cable ties, garden wire, pruners, labels, and other stuff like that. So I make sure that I have everything that I can potentially need this gardening season. Alright, looks a bit better, but speaking of being a neglectful gardener, check this out. I found yet another stash of bulbs that I just left in the pot last spring. I dug them out, left them like this for the entire winter, you guys. And here they are, waking up. These are muscari, starting to bloom. I mean, come on. I'm terrible. So, you know what I will do? I'll just plant them over here because I just pulled the tulips from here. These tulips were absolutely gorgeous. I mean, they would have been gorgeous. They started to bloom, they started to open, and then I left on holidays, and then it didn't rain and it was super windy, so they just dried up before they had the chance to bloom. So I will try to separate this clump of bulbs so that I can still enjoy them in this container. I mean, this just goes to show you that, you know, sometimes we baby our bulbs, our plants, and they still don't grow, and then you have plants like these that you just ignore for a whole year and they just thrive on neglect. So I'm gonna give them a bit of water now, and then we can move on. Alright, I think we are done for today. It looks much cleaner and much more organized. So now I'm just gonna water and fertilize everything. In my last video I showed you what products I'm gonna be using to fertilize my container garden this year, so if you are curious to check it out, you will find that information in my last video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for joining me today for this balcony garden maintenance day. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see each other in the next one.